Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us. It's Friday, July 26th. You're watching News 2 on VIA Channel 4 and 504. I'm Leslie Kamisiang. Topping our stories tonight, the Virgin Islands Police Department's Commissioner nominee Trevor Vellinor was formally introduced on Thursday by Governor Albert Bryant Jr. And News 2 was there to get the story.
Governor Albert Bryant Jr. held a press conference on Thursday to introduce Virgin Islands Police Department Commissioner nominee Trevor Vellinor. Mr. Vellinor served as Assistant Special Agent in charge of the Tampa Field Division and was a first responder to the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. He was also a program manager at the Bureau's Legislative Affairs Division and the Intergovernmental Affairs Division, and the resident agent in charge of the ATF Colorado Springs Field Office.
I am a Crucian by birth. I grew up in St. Croix on the east side of St. Croix in Harborview, and my memories of the Virgin Islands is fond. I have very fond memories. I remember getting up, especially this time of the year, summer, going from Harborview all the way down to Princess Project, Shoreline, you know, picking whatever was in season, mango, kinnip, whatever, and we came home when it was late. And no one was afraid, everyone embraced us.
During the press conference, Mr. Vellinor said he believes the territory is in a state of emergency when it comes to violent crimes, and only a continuous partnership between the agency and the community can combat it.
When I left here, the territory, in 2001, the year before 2001, in 2000, there were 24 homicides in the territory. This is 20 years later, 2019. To date, we have 24 homicides, 23 or 24 homicides in the territory. We cannot be tolerant of violent crime. We cannot be tolerant of the lack of civility. We as a community, we have been identified as America's paradise. Paradise needs to be about harmony. It needs to be about us solving crimes, solving challenges together.
While only an island for the past 2 weeks, Mr. Vellinor said he's been able to speak to a large cross-section of officers within the department about the trends and challenges that both VIPD and the territory are facing.
I told my employees, I said to them, folks, I have one mantra, and all my command level folks, they're gonna know what the mantra is. It's PAC. We're a PAC. And what it stands for is that we believe in professionalism, we believe in accountability, and we believe in effective communication. So I said we need to give this a chance. And we believe that collectively we can have an impact on public safety in our territory.
The commissioner nominee also spoke about firearms coming into the territory.
We need to adapt a culture whereby we recognize that firearms are the tools that kill. And so when you look at what took place not too long ago on Rainbow Beach in St. Croix or any homicide situation, not only are the folks who are involved in those incidents victims, the community is also victim. They're victimized. And so when I talk about, you know, the state of emergency, that's what I'm talking about, the victimization. So you ask what I can do. What I can do is us collaborate more with the community. Us engage with the community. It doesn't take Trevor Vellinor doing this. It takes us as a community and law enforcement being very, very engaged.
For News 2, this is James Gardner.
Senator Alison Digazon engaged invited guests from the Department of Education and the Housing Finance Authority for a town hall meeting in the Sunny Isle Shopping Center. The Department of Education used the platform to inform of a new school's instruction start times connected to the K-8 configuration, but revealed that many teaching vacancies may be filled by a number of international instructors.
At a town hall meeting held by Senator Alison Digazon, the Department of Education informed that 201 ninth grade students were held back this year. Carlos McGregor, the department's insular superintendent, stated that he had a plan to combat retention, but did not reveal it. However, he did inform that this year 3 class sessions will be held back-to-back before a break for lunch.
You talked about 3 periods in one. That is a schools this coming school year. That's the format that has been used in the junior highs for the last 10 years. We're extending that to the high schools this school year. Again, it means that after the students have their lunch, they must have one more period, and then they end at 2:40.
In April of this year, the Commissioner of Education, Raquel Berry, stated in a Senate hearing that 91 teachers departed with the department and 54 were on sick leaves. McGregor stated that interviews were being conducted but was unable to give details.
Do we have any more people coming in from the Philippines or Jamaica and so forth to fill those gaps?
Those are contractual agreements between the department and those governments, and I'll probably leave that to the HR director to respond to.
Today, the department followed up in written statements that a number of teachers from the Philippines and other Caribbean islands were conducted. However, visa approvals are pending. The department further stated that once visa decisions are made, the department would know how many international teachers will be expected for the 2019-2020 school year. For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
The Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority is monitoring a potential sewage leak in Frederiksted after reports by concerned residents came in, according to the Waste Management Authority. Their team responded to the report on Monday. Wastewater crews were dispatched, but the situation had been abated by the time they arrived. The Wastewater Division reported that a manhole in the vicinity of King Street and King Cross Street did overflow, but did not pose a safety hazard. As of Wednesday morning, conditions at the locations remain stable with no sewage overflow. The authority encourages the public to report any wastewater or solid waste related emergencies, including sewer spills, illegal dumping, and service interruptions. You can contact the Waste Management Authority at 844-962-8784. The police department traffic stops are yielding more arrests. On July 23rd, around 11:30 p.m. at night, officers from the Special Operations Bureau saw a black two-door Honda without license plate tags while on patrol in the vicinity of the Captain Morgan Rum Distillery. The driver, 22-year-old Jareem Tutine, came out of the vehicle and provided an expired driver's license. Police then saw a black handgun behind the driver's seat on the floor. Tutine was immediately detained. Now, the passenger, meanwhile, 29-year-old Roy Hendrickson, exited the vehicle and became aggressive and uncooperative, according to police. A physical altercation ensued in which officers and Hendrickson fell to the ground. The officers were eventually able to detain Hendrickson. That was when police saw a handgun underneath the vehicle by the rear passenger side. Jareem Tutine was arrested and charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm. His bail was set at $10,000. He was unable to post bail and was remanded to the Golden Grove Detention Center. Roy Hendrickson was charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm and obstructing and delaying an officer while discharging his duties. Bail was set at $100,000. He was unable to post bail and was remanded to the Golden Grove Correctional Facility as well. Coming up next, highlights from the Economic Development Authority's conference earlier this week, plus Christmas came early on St. Croix. We'll have details when we come back. The Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority is riding a wave of optimism. On Tuesday, the authority released an independent economic impact analysis of the Economic Development Authority's tax incentive program to the territory. The EDA attracts businesses and investors to the territory through tax breaks, including 100% exemptions on corporate and gross receipt taxes. The recent study done by the UVI Institute for Leadership and Organizational Effectiveness covered 2013 through 2015. According to the study, the EDC directly and indirectly accounted for billions in wages, taxes, and territory-wide economic output. Governor Albert Bryan Jr. was also present at the press conference where EDA revealed the findings of the study. He said the importance of the tax break program justifies a $1 million increase in EDA funding for the next fiscal year.
The results of this data indicate that our EDC program, the Economic Development Commission program, resulted in $9.6 million in charitable contributions that were paid, over $300 million in taxes and duties paid, $1 billion in wages and salaries paid, and $1.4 billion in total economic output. The Economic Development Commission program during those 3 years had on average 71 companies that were reporting data for those 3 years. And one of the most important numbers is that aggregately, 19,308 jobs over that 3-year period were directly tied to Economic Development Commission companies, which is an average of 6,400 jobs per year. The Economic Development Commission is a very key part in terms of growing the economy here in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
For 2017, there were 34,900 tax filers. Of those 34,900 tax filers, 89 people paid 66% of the taxes. The reason why we've dedicated an extra $1 million to the EDA and to their marketing efforts for next year in our budget is because we are very much aware of how much this program means to the Virgin Islands. The attraction of high net worth individuals to the Virgin Islands is one very strong component of our strategy.
The Virgin Islands Council on the Arts is highlighting a young Virgin Islander who is determined to carve a space for herself in the local art community. 25-year-old Jasmine Lindquist sold her first painting while in high school, but now she's taking it to another level. Her new VICA exhibit is entitled Reintroduction, a series of 19 contemporary impressionist acrylic paintings on panel and canvas. And each painting features an aspect of Virgin Islands life, from events to special scenery to people. Jasmine said she hopes the exhibit is the start of a life pursuing art. Jasmine's exhibit opened this evening at the Council of the Arts in downtown Charlotte Amalia. It will be on display until August 9th. Jasmine said she's so excited about all the support she's been getting from her family and the community, and she hopes more people get to experience her art by coming to the exhibit. Here's more from the budding artist.
So I've been painting for many years, almost practically my whole life. When I was in School of Visual Arts is when I started doing more artistic paintings for the goal of an artist's career. Now that I'm here back in the Virgin Islands, I've decided to take this year to focus on my art and really see where this journey would take me. So this exhibition is actually about my time here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. All pieces in this collection are referenced from different places, events, and things that could be found here in St. Thomas. We have Palm Passage, and this is a painting that I particularly like. Actually, it's one of my favorites because of the high contrast and bright light. It really feels like it's just really hot in this painting. Some ruins that you could find on John Brewer's Bay. I loved looking at the exposed brick and how there's a contrast between the dead grass inside the ruins and the greenery outside the ruins. So this show is called Reintroduction, which means I am reintroducing myself to the artist community here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So don't forget to come and check it out.
Make sure you go check out Jasmine's work. With temperatures that are hitting nearly 90 degrees, it's the perfect time for the Hope Holiday Christmas in July celebration on Saturday at the Leatherback Brewery. From 1 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., there will be performances by the Junior Moko Jumbis, Choral Fire, Christmas cakes, and of course, a visit from Santa. Now, proceeds from the event will benefit CASA, the Caribbean Center for Boys and Girls, and the Richard Patrick Henry Scholarship Fund, which goes towards students who are interested in the tourism and hospitality industry, according to Suzanne Rosebach, president of the St. Croix Hotel and Tourism Association.
What we do is we give scholarships for those going into tourism and hospitality. And UVI here on St. Croix has a degree program, and so a lot of the children here go to UVI and go into tourism and hospitality and then come back and work on the island. So when they're going to school here at UVI, they work at different hotels and different aspects of hospitality. It has been very successful. There are many that have worked at many hotels around the island that are doing great. And it's going to be a fun event. We hope everyone comes out because we really need to raise some money for these charities that we have kind of fallen behind on in the last 3 years with everything going on. So it's a great event, a great reason to come out. Leatherback's always a good place to come for the day. You can come and go, you can hang out all day. We will have some shade, and so it's a fun thing.
Soca diva Elizabeth Watley is unveiling her new song, Salute, this Saturday at Shoop's on the Christiansted Boardwalk. The 17-year veteran performer shot the music video to her new song in New York. Elizabeth, who also serves as the Assistant Commissioner of Tourism, wants residents to be able to experience her visual project first before she releases the video internationally. Elizabeth visited our studios and expressed her excitement.
So Salute is my newest single, and so we're going to have a big promotion for it. And of course, I wanted to bring it home since we shot it in New York, in Harlem, New York, and I wanted to bring it home for the people of the Virgin Islands to be the first to actually see the video. Watch the people, they coming through from Toronto and VI too. As I stand here, one thing is true, my soldiers know what to do. Salute your Commissioner of Soca, bringing your hits them over and over.
The St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce held its Business After Hours soiree on Thursday at the VIA headquarters on St. Thomas. The event gathers local businesses and government entities for one of the most well-attended regular networking events in the territory. Governor Albert Bryan Jr. was in attendance, as well as Senator Bobby Thomas. They were among the attendees who got to hear about VIA's new campaign called This Is How I VIA. Here's more from the event.
VIA throughout our community is an upstanding corporate citizen that makes sure they give back in every way, and now they're reaching out to their partners in the corporate community to try and get together, have a social event from CEOs to just regular Joes. Kudos to VIA, its leadership, Ms. Geraldine and her wonderful staff, all the professionals at VIA, and they are here mingling with us. It's a fantastic event.
I'm over here at the VIA After Hours, Business After Hours. I'm here to see all my friends at VIA, a rocking company. If you need internet, cable, whatever you need, come to VIA. We got it all.
Well, I'm really happy to be here. As most of you know, this is my old home. I did a lot of innovative. As a matter of fact, putting everybody in this building was one of the first projects that I did. I had to move everybody from Belgium to this building, so this building means a lot to me. But really love the company. Geraldine, who just joined us, where is she? Right here. There, right there. Great president. Glad to see the leadership and seeing things are turning around. I'm looking forward to a lot more products coming out by VIA. And us supporting our local homegrown telephone and cell phone company, right? I try to tell people all the time, it's like, you know, you have VIA is our homegrown company that pays living wages to the employees and has been a staple in our community for many years. So thank you, Geraldine, Jennifer, the whole VIA team for all that you do. Because
VIA, of course, is the parent company of TV2. Stick around, your Pet of the Week plus the News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next. Welcome back. This week's Pet of the Week is from the St. Croix Animal Welfare Center's Adoption Center. Meet the lovable Bo.
This week we have Mr. Bo. So Bo is about a 3-month-old little miniature pit bull, actually. He's very interesting because Bo has the head and markings and body of a pit bull, but he has these short little legs. And so one of the reasons we love Bo here is that he's super docile. He's a bit of a snuggler. He probably will grow up to be, 40, 50 pounds, but he will be very short, probably around maybe a little higher than your knee. But we can tell already that Bo is always going to end up being a lap dog. And if you're interested in adopting Bo or any of Bo's wonderful friends here at the Pet Place, you can come visit us. We're located on Northside Road in La Grande Princess, right next to Food Town.
If you or anyone you know is interested in Bo or any of the pets we feature on the Pet of the Week, you can visit the St. Croix Animal Welfare Center's page on Facebook. Now let's take a look at the weather for the next couple of days with our News 2 AccuWeather forecast.
Happy Friday. We're looking at dry conditions coming into our area. Not really going to see too much in the way of moisture as we move into tonight. Now there will be some changes, some more tropical moisture back towards the east there, and that will be moving in Sunday into about Tuesday across the Leewards, Virgin Islands, as well as Puerto Rico. So as we take a closer look for tonight, just a few clouds passing through, chance for some of those to dump some showers, but overall limited moisture. So the atmosphere is saying no way to showers for many locations as that drier air is taking over, dropping down to the lower 80s for tonight. Lots of sunshine tomorrow with a high at 91 in St. John. If you're out towards St. Thomas, also going to be looking at a high in the lower 90s. Grab the sunglasses into St. Croix, topping off at 90. And yes, a beautiful start to the weekend. As far as our marine forecast goes for Saturday, waves on the Atlantic side 3 to 5 feet. Winds out of the east 10 to 15 knots. Caribbean side is going to be a bit higher for your Saturday with your winds and waves. Waves 4 to 6 feet. We do have a small craft use caution in place, and winds are going to be out of the east 15 to 20 knots. So if you plan to head to the beach, just be cautious. Or if you're on the boat or a jet ski, you definitely need to be cautious on the Caribbean facing waters. Now, as we head into the extended forecast, you will notice highs not changing too much. That remains pretty much the same for the next several days. We'll be topping off at 90 for your Sunday. And that's when we start to notice a bit of that moisture returning. So tomorrow, lots of dry air. And then as we head into your Sunday, well, you're going to be looking at partly sunny skies. And then the showers come back into play for your Monday and Tuesday. And also be looking at the chance for a bit more cloud cover and showers into the Wednesday. And that's due to our tropical wave that is sitting out towards our east right now. But we start the weekend off on a dry note.
Thank you for that. Stick around. News 2 Sports with Gary Anthony is coming up next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. It's been a busy week for Virgin Islanders competing around the globe. And here is just a sample. The 2019 Pan Am Games are underway in Lima, Peru, and the USVI is well represented with the men's and women's national basketball teams. In addition, Dion Pruitt will be boxing in the 178.5-pound division. St. John native Maui Mimi Roller is competing in sailing. Melanie Valenciana and Makita Manika Charles are competing in beach volleyball. And long-distance runner Eduardo Garcia is competing in track and field. St. Thomas native Aaliyah Boston scored 6 points for Team USA in their 81-49 quarterfinal spanking over Canada in the FIBA U19 2019 Women's World Cup in Thailand. Next up, the semifinal game versus Belgium on Saturday. Akira Cerise and Michelle Smith of the St. Croix Mustangs track team are competing in the second NACAC U13 and U15 games in El Salvador from July 26th through July 27th. The USVI's Natalia Kuipers, Adriel Sanders, and Matt Mays are competing in the 18th FINA World Championship in Gwangju, the Republic of Korea. Sanders has already set 2 USVI swimming records during this competition. Then the trio head to Pan Am Games in Lima, Peru. Mikael Parrish from St. Croix Central High School and the world's best billiards player under 18 continues to advance at the 2019 Junior National 9-Ball Championships in Las Vegas. Now closer to home, don't miss the Beach Soccer Festival Sunday at Fort Frederick Beach. Games start at noon. Have a fabulous weekend, everybody. Leslie, back to you.
Thank you for that, and that's our show for tonight. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube and on VIA Channel 4 and 504, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Follow us on social media, tag us on any stories you want to see on the news, or send us a message on Messenger. You can also email us at newsdirector@tv2.vi. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Leslie Comisión. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend.